YouTube. Well, I haven't posted up a video in quite some time, as you know, life happens. So welcome back to my channel. This is Belle, and this is my journey, natural hair journey. It's been 20 months since I've been transitioning. Right now, I have some Molly twists in my hair. I've had it in for a few weeks now, and I'm really liking it. It's all light and whatnot. So yesterday, I decided to make my own coconut oil in my kitchen. I will post a link to the video that I used. Thank you, Mr. K. Dean, I think it is. And it was really super easy to make. I had my brother, I had gotten like 5 coconuts or whatnot like 3 weeks ago, and it's been like sitting at home. Eventually my mom took it, and for nearly a couple of days, every few during the week, she would have the coconuts soaking in a pan of water. I don't know why. Maybe it's to keep the moisture in the coconuts. I don't know. I'll ask her. Eventually, I did become sick around that time. Anyway, out of the 5 coconuts, I only used like 2 or maybe 2.5 coconuts to make the oil, because I was grating it by hand on the grater, trying to be all old school and not use the blender, and I became tired, and I actually ended up cutting myself a little bit on my finger. My finger slipped on the grater, so kind of painful. But anyway, I wanted to make the coconuts as fine as possible to see if I can extract as much oil as I possibly can. So the only thing I modified with Mr. Dean's video, let me show you how much coconut oil I got. Where is it? Okay. Now, this container of coconut oil, Puritan's Pride coconut oil, I had it for a long while. So I kept the container when I ran out of coconut oil, and I paid like, I think it was a little over $120 Trinidadian dollars. And I thought, yeah, that is kind of expensive for coconut oil, okay? And coconuts on the whole, at least in my country, is readily available. It's always available. Yay for living in a tropical country. Woohoo! Right. So I live in a tropical country, and coconuts usually go for like, I think I paid like $5 a coconut, and I bought 5, and I only used like 2 or 2.5 coconuts. Anyway, I got like, this is a 16-ounce container, and I think I got like 4 ounces. Yes, I got about this much of coconut oil. It's right up to this line here. Don't know if you can see that. Say it's pure coconut oil, completely white. I've had it in the fridge, trying to keep it and preserve it. But yeah, it's like about 4 ounces of coconut oil I got from like 2 or 2.5 coconuts. And I still have the remaining of coconuts in the freezer that I'm intending to thaw out and use. So what did I do? I modified Mr. Dean's video a bit. Now, as in the video, you'll see, I don't know if it's his wife or his mom, and the person after they grate the coconut and put the coconut meat into the water, and he mixes it and everything, and the milk comes out. Okay, and then he takes out the meat and puts it aside, and eventually you just throw that away. Now, what I did, I first put the meat in the normal tap water, whatever, and got as much milk as I can out of it. But I then when I took the meat out of the water and I put it aside, I said, you know what? I really want to get as much coconut oil as possible. So I decided to take back the meat and put it into a fresh container and add in some water little by little to see if I could extract any more milk out of the meat. And it turns out, during the second wash, a lot more milk came out. So I added that to my first container, and I used a basin, and I used a really big basin. I'll post the pictures about the stuff that I used, or maybe I'll make a second video about actually making the coconut oil, probably using a blender next time. Anyway, so I think the bowl I use is like 10 inches or 15 inches in diameter. It's really large basin. So I said, you know what, during the second wash, when I got the second amount of milk, I'm like, okay, great. So I put that aside, sit down, and overnight. When I came back from work, I saw the cream was on top, but it wasn't like hard, like how in Mr. Dean's video it was. It was, the cream was there, but it was soft. I thought that maybe I'd done something wrong or something. But then I realized that he was making his coconut oil probably during a colder period, because I saw, you know, people in socks and sweaters and whatnot. So the temperature has probably something to do with it. So I'm in a tropical country. 9 times out of 10, it's always hot. So the cream at the top was soft, but I skimmed it off and I put it into my pot. Now, when I skimmed off the cream, I touched the surface of the remaining liquid that was supposed to just be water, and I realized when it came out on my fingers, it was greasy, it was oily. I'm like, wait a minute, there's oil still in there, and it's not in cream form or anything. And so I realized, since it was in a metal container, I couldn't see the demarcation where the water was, the oil was, and then where the cream was. But I skimmed off the cream, and I put that in my pot, and I heated it down until I got my 4 ounces of oil. But the water that was that in Mr. Dean's video he would have discarded, I restrained it into a plastic container, and then I put it in the fridge. It's actually sitting on my fridge right now, and it's been there overnight. And as I was looking to see, maybe some more cream will rise to the top, maybe it will separate enough so that I can maybe skim the oil from the top and then put it into my container, because I'm looking to see if I can get at least 8 ounces of oil out of 2.5 coconuts, as much oil as possible. And I checked it out in the fridge this morning, and yes, there's a clear, there's actually a lot more cream now back to the top. So I'm going to leave that there for maybe 2 days to see if I could really have it settle, to really see if there's as much oil and cream could rise to the top so I could skim off. That's the only 2 things that I did differently in his video. Because when I was researching on YouTube, a lot of people complained that they didn't get a lot of oil out of their coconuts. You know, some of them used only 2 or 3 coconuts, and they said they get like a little bit of oil. So I don't know if it had anything to do with the soaking of the nuts, because like I said, I've had these nuts for like 3 weeks, and my mom was soaking nuts in a basin of water. So I don't know if that was keeping moisture in the meat. I don't know. I will ask her why she was doing it. I just didn't bother to ask, you know. I just let my mom do whatever, you know. Moms. So that's the only things that I did differently to Mr. Dean's video. So if you want to make your own coconut oil, I will try to see if I can do some filming using my tablet to see to show you my process with making coconut oil. But because really it is too expensive and it is really simple to do. So next time I will use the blender instead of hurting my fingers on the grater, although it did come out nice and fine on the grater. Oh well. So that's what I have been doing. So 20 months into my transition, today I am going to do a core wash and do a deep condition, and hopefully if these dry I will be able to retighten. As you see, it's kind of getting loose. I did these myself. Like I say, I'm not much of a hair person, but it being around Christmas time, I just didn't want to be bothering with my hair during the holidays. Okay, so thank you for staying with me. Thank you for visiting my channel. I'm Belle, and this is Ring My Bell, my journey. Trying to get my hair natural. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye bye.